So, welcome to Monday morning. Hip, hip, hooray, it's hip opener day. So take a moment, how about we just take a big stretch up. This is where whatever I feel like I teach. So bring your arms up, press your palms up towards the ceiling. Let's just for fun bring our right arm to the floor, take your left arm up. We haven't even started the class. We're just feeling good in our body here, a little organic stretch. Other arm goes down to the floor, take your left arm up. Relax your lower shoulder reach. Take a big breath and let's come back to comfortable seated posture. So as much as possible, I always say this is not comfortable for everyone. This is called easy seated pose. I need you to go sit down. I need you to go sit down now. So this is called easy seated pose, which I know is not easy for everyone. As much as possible, your feet do not have to be crossed one on top of the other. As a matter of fact, what we prefer is for each ankle to be on the floor, kind of one in front of the other. Not sure if you see, but one of my legs is behind the other, and each ankle is on the floor. Your feet do not have to be close to your groin. They could be a little further from you, just like that. So taking your feet away from you. And then grab your blocks or your rolled up blankets, or your pillows, anything works. If you have your blocks, it's nice to place them on an angle. I'm doing a little demo here. And place them where you feel zero tension in the hips. So we're trying to have this nice opening in our hips. Today is hip opening day. And yet, because it's the beginning of our practice, I really wanted you to start off supported. So feel you make them flat and you can't reach and you're still hanging out there, it doesn't work. So that's why the angling of the blocks is nice. Or bring the pillow or whatever you're using close to your upper hip, so you're really, really supported, your upper thigh. Okay, your upper thigh. Relax your shoulders. Take a moment to find that comfortable seated pose. Again, we like the ankles to each be on the floor because when you cross one leg over the other, you can get a little bit of cramping or the circulation blocks. So just when you separate the feet, it's a little more comfortable. Okay? And we're going to relax the hands on the knees. And let's start with palms down, which is a little more grounding. And lift your heart, so lift the rib cage a little bit, and relax your shoulders away from the ears. Take a moment and notice as the crown of the head lifts towards the sky. Bring your chin slightly down, just enough to feel that the back of the neck is free. So energy can go up and down the back body. And your neck is not crunching or interfering with that flow of energy up to the crown of your head. Take a couple of letting go breaths, and every time you inhale, feel yourself getting just a little bit taller. And when you exhale, you can exhale through the mouth and just feel yourself grounding into the floor with your sit bones. The spine stays long. If you're comfortable, you can close your eyes, take another big breath in. Filling yourself up to the crown of the head. As you exhale, maintain your long spine, let go, and soften those shoulders away from your ears. Good. Take a moment to notice the state and the quality of the thoughts in your mind. What an assignment. Are we starting off this morning with a million thoughts? Do we feel flighty? If you kind of feel like you're all over the place and need grounding, keep the palms down as I suggested earlier. And if you're feeling a little sluggish, like you need energy, we recommend that you bring your palms to face the ceiling. Wherever you are, roll your shoulders back a little bit, so it has no impact on which way your palms are facing. Roll the shoulders back. Feel a tiny little squeeze between your shoulder blades. Make this very subtle. It shouldn't be a lot of work. Just enough to feel like the front of your body is spreading wide, open to receive. Take a moment. The next time you inhale, say the words I am in your mind or out loud. As you exhale, say here or grounded. 2 more breaths just like that, acknowledging that you are here on your mat, in this space, in this moment. Bringing ourselves collectively into the now. 1 more breath, inhaling. I am. taking a moment now to just adjust wherever your blocks or your pillows were. I don't want to take them away yet. Bring them down a little bit and see if your hips are just letting go a little bit as you breathe. So my idea is that when we first start and we're super tight, we need a bit more of a lift. And then with time, as we start to relax, the body kind of lets go. You want to take the blocks, make them a little flatter, or the pillows, if they're all the way up at your behind your upper thigh, move them down a little bit, see if they can support you, and just notice if you're starting to get just a little bit softer in the hips, and there's a bit more of a natural opening. Again, when I do this in class, at least half the people find that we haven't done anything yet, but just relaxing the mind, slowing down the breath, the body tends to just kind of let go. Because when the mind is active, we have tension in our minds. We hold that, and the whole body is like this, including our hips. So as you kind of let go, take a few breaths here and just see if you allow the knees to open a little bit more. Remember to keep your upper back straight. A very gentle squeeze in your shoulder blades and the front of the body open. Your choice as to whether your hands are up to receive energy or down for grounding. Take just another 2 breaths here and notice if the lower body, if the hips, just soften. Give yourself permission, let go. And if you're still feeling the same tightness, there's no right or wrong. You're not doing anything wrong. Your body might just be holding on to that tightness. It may be something that you've been holding on to for so long that it doesn't take just a few minutes to let go. So it's a practice. Take another breath here. And we're going to come collectively into butterfly pose. So if, like me, you start off on an elevation, we want to come onto the floor. So we're sitting on the floor now. You can let the blocks come off to the side, the supports. As a matter of fact, leave them at the front of your mat, because we'll be using them a little bit more today. Butterfly pose is where we bring the soles of the feet in towards each other. And the feet, by the way, do not have to be all the way into your groin. Again, the feet can be further out. See what works for you, where you're comfortable. Hold on to the ankles, the shin, the knee, anywhere. Very often, if I'm holding on to my ankles, you might get a perception that that is the right way to do it. The right way to do it is where it feels good in your body. So the legs can be a little further away from you. And holding onto the ankles or the shin or the knee, just take a moment to press into both hip bones. Feel yourself really rooted in the earth. See if you're still lifting your heart, your rib cage forward and up. And check in with the back of the neck again. Good. Are you creating stress in your shoulders as you hold on to those legs? And now, see if you can bring your elbows into your upper thighs, just like this, and push your elbows into your upper thighs to really open the hips just a little bit more. We're not going to pain or pinching. And then release. You can even bring your legs in a little bit. It feels good. And now, as you press your elbows, we're going to do this 2 more times. As you push your elbows into your upper thighs, have your upper thighs push back. So a little bit of tension and release. And then release. You can bring your legs in if it feels good, or just leave them there. And 1 more time. Elbows pressing into the upper thighs. The upper thighs are pressing back. Lift your heart. Get nice and tall. And then elbows. Release. Good. Bring your legs out in front of you. Give it a little shake. Are we already feeling a bit of an opening in the inner hips, thighs? It is said that we carry a lot of emotions. Yogis believe we carry a lot of emotions in our hips, believe it or not. Is that true for you today? I'll let you figure that out. So let's come to fire log today, which really works the outer part of our hips and our buttocks. I'm going to ask you to take your right foot and bring it underneath the left bum cheek. Again, listening to your body, see what works for you. And then take your left foot and either bring it to the inside of the knee, just like this. Bring it over the knee. Or you can bring this leg over until the knees are kind of stacked on top of one another. You're looking for that place where you're feeling a nice stretch in your left hip. So I'm asking you to find that place. Again, 3 choices. You already may feel it As you bring your leg right here and I'm on the inside of my knee, lift your heart wherever you are. Or the foot goes over the knee. See how that feels in your left hip. If it's too much, it'll come out of the posture. Or you bring the knees on top of one another and the feet come out a little. This is called fire lock. And so we're getting a nice stretch in the outer part of our hip, perhaps our glutes. Take a moment here. Again, I'm holding on to the knees. The important part here is to lift your heart, lengthen the spine. And in this moment, feel yourself rooting through both sit bones. I promise you more of the weight is on the right sit bone. Relax your shoulders. See if you can even out the weight just a little bit. Good. Right over here, release the knee. Hold the bottom part of that posture. And as you inhale, lift your arms up. And then I want you to turn towards your left. So I'm going to mirror you. Turn to your left, please. And hold. Bring one arm back behind you. Your right hand is on your left knee. Relax your shoulders. And start to bring both shoulders with your exhale towards your left side. So there's a lot going on in the hips here. Make sure to make any adjustments that you need. We're just adding a little upper body twist. As you breathe, get a little bit taller, crown of the head pulling up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, look towards your left just a little more. And remember, it's not the gaze or where you're looking that's important. It's really your shoulders rotating so that your upper body turns towards the left. Don't over-rotate. There should be no pinching, no pain. Slowly make your way back into the center. Grab onto your legs. Just give your back a nice extension, creating space between every vertebrae again. Take a big breath in and just think to yourself, oh, why don't I do this every single day? Okay. Uncross the legs, give it a little shake in front of you. One more time. For those of you that are new, if it feels a little bit like you're putting yourself into a pretzel, this is probably as deep as we're going to get. Always listen to your body. Left foot underneath the right buttocks cheek, please. Options, your right foot can be on the inside of your knee, just like so. One is not better than the other. Right foot can reach over the knee, just like this, holding on. You'll notice that the upper body is long. It doesn't change anything. Are you feeling the stretch in that right hip? Or you can pull your leg over. You're trying to get one knee over the other. If you want to go for fire log, you've been practicing for longer, you want to get a little juicier today. Knees are kind of stacked upon one another. And then you take that leg that's underneath, you bring it out. So I'm not sure if you can see, but both of my feet are kind of looking towards the outside of the mat there. This is much more intense. Wherever you are, check in with that right hip. Redistribute the weight so that you have weight distribution on the right side of your hip/glute. And then bring the attention back to your upper body and to your breath. As I always say, the breath will tell you if you've gone too far. So if you're having trouble breathing, if your breathing is labored, it means you've gone too far in your posture. You're just holding on to the legs, the knees, lifting your heart. See if you can make your breathing nice and soft and easy. And right now you're getting a beautiful, juicy, passive stretch in those hips. A little more on the right side, perhaps. If you're feeling it on the left a little bit more, nothing wrong with you. Every body is different. So notice where you're feeling it. Make sure there's no pinching or pain, and slowly we'll come out of it together. Extend the legs out. Give them a little shake here. Good. And now we're going to spread the legs wide, and I will demonstrate this from the side as I like to do. We're doing a wide-legged forward fold. As opposed to bringing your legs as wide as you can, please bring them to about 70% of where you think you could bring them. And then bring your hands out in front of you, just like so. I feel like if I move back, you see a little better, a little bit more light here. Okay, the hands are in front of us. As we do our forward fold, first of all, we're moving with our breath. So every time we inhale, we stay where we are. Every time we exhale, we bring our heart forward towards the front of the mat. We'll do this for a few breaths, and what you're looking to do is bring your rib cage towards your upper thighs. Engage your core, press the navel in towards the spine on the exhale, and at no point should we be trying to bring the forehead to the ground. Even if you come all the way down, which I do not, because I have lower back issues, even if you come all the way back down to the floor, you want your neck to be in line with the whole back. So as I lean forward, I feel a long line of energy from the tailbone all the way through to the crown of my head here, nice and flat. And as I breathe, I press into the glutes or the buttocks. I want you to push as if you want to move backwards, as if you're pushing your glutes backwards. And reach your fingertips just a little bit further. And work with your breath. So as you exhale, exhale fully and completely, soften. Remember that wherever you are is fine. So if you're new to the practice and you're right up here, that's fine. You just want to feel spaciousness in your lower back, no pain, no pinching, no pulling. And again, keeping the back straight. Good. Walk it in. Are you starting to get the feeling that we're working the hips today? Bring the legs in, give them a little shake, please. And now, bring your hands back behind you and bring your feet mat width apart. So really wide, feet are on the floor, knees are pointing up. Once again, I promise you that some of you are sitting like this, all rounded. I want you to open your heart and drop your shoulders. Even go get a big squeeze between the shoulder blades, so this will bring your heart forward. As we take an inhale together, the gaze is forward, the knees are forward, up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, drop both your knees towards the right. Come onto the sides of your foot. They don't touch the floor, it doesn't matter at all. On your inhale, come back to center, moving nice and slowly. On your exhale, go over to the opposite side. It's just a wide-legged windshield wiper. Do this at your own pace, 2 more to each side. The important thing is to move with your breath. So take a nice full inhale, feel it into the belly. As you exhale, exhale fully and completely till there's not an ounce of air left in the belly. So this should take a little time. Inhaling fully and completely. And I'm exaggerating here. Until the navel presses into the spine. Last time, one to each side. Exhaling fully and completely. And last time. Feeling that into the outer hips here. Good. And the last thing we're going to do in a seated position, we're going to come to what I call a Z-sit. So you're just going to bend both of your knees just like this. Your knees will be pointing towards the left. Let's all do the same thing so that your left foot, the sole of your left foot, is pointing towards your right upper thigh. It may touch, it may not, completely up to you. In this case, the further that you take your foot away from your upper thigh, the more of a stretch that you're getting. Okay, so you can create this large space between the two, or you can stay right here and your foot can be on the upper thigh. Again, one is not better than the other. Okay? Take a moment here and just see how that feels in your body. Lengthen your spine. Try and get yourself centered here. So from the tailbone all the way up through the neck, cervical spine, all the way up through the crown of the head. Nice alignment. Now as you inhale, bring your arms all the way up. As you exhale, turn towards your left knee, rotate. Right hand comes on to the left knee. And hold, again, relax your shoulders. Left hand is behind you, right hand on your left knee. Take a moment here, breathe in. As you exhale, use that knee, so right hand pulls into your knee a little bit. See if that will give you a little bit more of a rotation towards your left. Inhaling, lift your heart, get a little taller. And exhale, rotate just a little bit more if there's space to do so. If not, just stay and breathe. One more breath. Both shoulders looking towards your left. Relax the shoulders away from your ears. As you inhale, come all the way back in towards the center. Square off your shoulders. And then come back and just find the Z-sit on the other side. Remember, there are options. So now our knees are looking towards the right. Sorry, I'm not mirroring you guys this time, so my knees are also looking towards the right. And find what works for you. So for example, on the other side, I was really comfortable spreading the legs away from each other And that feels super tight here. So I'm just going to find what feels good on this side. Both sides are different. The challenge here is when you're in this position, you're going to want to lean over. So what I'm inviting you to do is find the position that enables you to find your center here. You might have to adjust the legs a little bit. Find your center so you feel nice and balanced still. Big stretch in the hip, very possibly. Get nice and tall. On your next inhale, when you're ready, both arms will reach up high. And this time we're looking towards the right. Your left hand goes on the right knee. Make any adjustments with the feet that you need to. Inhaling length, exhaling, rotating to your right. Your right arm is behind you. The closer you bring it to the base of your spine, the more of a twist you're going to get. Just play with the positioning of that back hand. See that back arm as a pillar, so press into the earth with your back hand and lift so that you get nice and tall here. And exhale, rotate towards your right. Okay, one more breath. And we're making our way back into the center. All right, I could just hear some of you saying, I'm ready for Shavasana now. My hips are tired. This was just our warm-up, so smile, everybody. Let's make it onto all fours. And actually, matter of fact, we're going to stop, sorry. Before you get onto all fours, come onto your knees for me. We're going to do gait pose together. So on our knees, if you have sensitive knees, bring up a towel. Nicely folded underneath the knees. Okay, so this time I'll mirror you. Please take your right foot, bring it out to the side. And as a matter of fact, for those of you that are new, or if you're just feeling like this might help, grab a block, please. So the right foot will be out to the side. And I don't want you to be on the side of your foot. I'd like your whole foot to be on the floor here. And then this block can be on either. There's 3 levels. There's the flat part, a little bit higher, a little bit higher. See what works for you right now. We are going to be coming down towards the floor. Okay, so your left hand comes to the floor. If you'd like to place your palm on the floor, that's fine. And reach your other arm up. And here are options. Your right arm can be pointed towards the ceiling, as I'm demonstrating now, actively separating your fingers and reaching. If you prefer, bring your arm next to your ears, almost like when we're in Warrior 2, we do extend an ankle, and reach the arm past your forehead, past the edge of the mat. Relax any tension in that left shoulder, the one that's underneath you, supporting you. And wherever you are, try to spin your heart to look up towards the ceiling. Press into that right leg, the outer part of your right foot, so you feel length on the whole right side of your body, and your right arm is reaching as far as you can. So spaciousness all the way from the outer part of your right foot, up the right side of your body through to the fingertips. Oh, does this feel good? Sorry, I'm making a lot of comments and noises today. As we inhale, engage your core, bring yourself all the way back into center, and bring your right knee back underneath you. Okay, if you're using a block, bring it over to the other side. It will be on your right, and take your left leg out. And again, the foot is flat on the floor. The purpose of the blocks is just to lift the floor for us. So for those of you that are new, remember that you could stay right here. You're planting that left foot into the earth. Make sure it's in line with your hip. And then the arm can go all the way up here. Remember, you can go lower if you like, or down to the floor. It's no better or worse if you just want to stay here and reach your fingers up towards the sky. The more you press into that left leg, the more you'll feel spaciousness on the left side of your body. Or you bring your arm close to your ear and reach. Wherever you are, separate your fingers wide. Feel the activity and the energy going through your hands to your fingertips. Breathe. Look up if it feels good. A little bit of a back bend almost. Roll your left shoulder back a little bit towards the back of the room. Good. Engage your core to come up. I say this so you're not using your lower back. Engage your core to come up. Good. And slowly we'll make our way to all fours. Please make sure if you do have blocks that you bring them to the front of the mat with you. Good. Before we begin, and again, if you need something underneath your knees, please Bring your blanket underneath your knees. Your wrists are directly underneath your shoulders. Toes are tucked under or flat, whatever feels good for you. We're going to do a few little hip circles. So let's get a little bit juicy here. You may sit towards your heels, or as I'm demonstrating now, I can keep my hips right above my knees and just make some circles. And I like to call them more ovals because I want you to really get into those places that feel like they need a little WD-40. Let's go in the opposite direction, please. Breathe. Inhale as you come forward. Slow down the movement. Enjoy the feeling in your body. Enjoy the sensation of space in your body. And coming back down. Good. Separate the knees wide. Your feet might touch, they might not. It is not important. Sit your hips towards the back of the room. If you want to bring a block or a folded towel underneath your forehead, or the forehead reaches towards the floor, whatever is good for you. Wherever you are, reach the hands as far forward as you can so you feel energy and space through the rib cage, all the way through to the tips of your fingers. And when you cannot possibly reach any further, press into the mat and just apply a little very gentle pressure, inviting your hips to settle towards the back of the room. By no means do your hips have to touch your heels. Wherever you are is fine. You're just reaching those fingertips as far as you can and then pressing all 10 fingers into the mat like you want to push the mat away from you. Spaciousness on both sides and creating space in the outer hips, glutes, and letting go. Giving them permission to be wherever they are. As they soften, they will create space in your body. Stay for another 2 gentle breaths. Make sure you're not retaining the breath between the inhale and the exhale. After your second breath, we'll come all the way back up. Bring the knees underneath your hip bones. Curl the toes underneath you. Downward facing dog. Lifting the hips up high. Yay. So just for a moment here in our downward dog, walk your feet wider so that they're mat width apart. Not off the mat, just mat width apart. And if you can, walk your arms a little bit wider. Just a different sensation here. And press your hips up towards the sky. Let your head be super heavy. The most important part is let go in the neck. You might nod yes, nod no. Let the head be heavy. Crown of the head pulling towards the floor. You can be up on your tippy toes. You can play, press your heels towards the back of the room. Just see what feels good. Opening in the front and the back body. Feel yourself lengthening and creating space in the back body, the legs. Good. Walk your feet back so that they're hip width apart. You're still in downward facing dog. You might want to inch your hands in a little bit closer to one another. On the next inhale, take the right leg up towards the sky, hold. Press your heel towards the sky, let your head be heavy. Bend your right knee, please. Your foot is your heels coming in towards your glutes, your bum. And then open that right knee towards the right side of the room. Keep your left hip steady. You're just opening up almost like a fire hydrant. Flex your foot. Let your head be super heavy. Right knee is open, foot is flexed. Bring the right knee back down, foot to the floor, downward dog. Take a big letting go breath if you need to. If you're new, come down to the floor. Meet us again in a moment. When you're ready, left leg comes up towards the sky. Bend the left knee. Your heel will come towards your left glute. Press into both hands evenly as you open that left hip. And as you open the left hip, press into both hands. Make sure your right hip is not jutting over to the side. Stay centered. Take one more breath. And then bring your knee to look at the floor. Foot comes down to the floor, downward dog. Just for fun, let's do a little flow. Come forward. Plank pose. As we exhale, drop down, knees come down. Hug your elbows, your triceps in close to you. Make your way down to the floor. Chin, chest, belly, like a slow push-up. Let's do 3 little Cobra Poses. Actually, for today, let's bring the arms back behind us. Interlace your fingers at the tailbone. If this doesn't work in your body, you can just leave your arms next to your sides. That's fine too. Press the tops of the feet into the earth. Press your pelvis into the earth. We're getting ready to use the upper back muscles. Your gaze is down, back of the neck long. Inhale, lift, and exhale, come back down. As you lift, you're sending your arms towards the back of the mat, towards your heels. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Keep looking down. Don't look up and away from you. Last time, inhaling, lifting as high as you can, using your upper back muscles, and exhale, make your way all the way back down. Bring your hands back underneath you. Curl your toes, downward facing dog. On the next inhale, take the right leg up towards the sky. Bring your right foot to the front of the mat, please. Good. We are going to set up for warrior two today. So open the back open the back foot so that it's looking away towards the left side of the mat. If you look down, your front heel meets up with your back arch. Make your way all the way up. Windmill the arms and fall into your warrior two. This is an open hip pose, meaning we want to work the inner adductor here, the inner muscle on your right thigh. You want your right knee to point towards your third toe. You don't want that knee to cave in here. Open it up. Press into the outer part of your back leg. Relax your shoulders. There are only 14 things you need to think about. Look past your right fingertips. Open your heart. Inhale, lengthen the arms. Exhale, extend an angle. Right elbow comes onto your right hip. Again, you've got choices. Reach this left arm up or bring it towards the front of the mat, bicep close to your ears. Whichever you choose, roll your left shoulder back a little bit. If you're up here facing the ceiling, bring your arm back behind you. If your fingers are pointed to the ceiling. Wherever you are, separate both hands, the fingers on both hands. Activity through to the fingertips. Take another big breath where you are. As you inhale, make your way all the way back. Fall into your warrior. Let's dance our warrior a couple of times. As you inhale, straighten your right leg. Bring your arms up, look center. As you exhale, fall into that warrior two. Look past the right fingertips. As you get into the flow, make this feel good. Get a little dramatic, get a little fun here, creative. Exhale, fall. 2 more times. Inhaling up. Exhaling, falling into your warrior. Watch that front knee. Open up the knee. 1 more time. Inhaling up. And exhaling. Inhaling, lengthening both arms, reversing the warrior, dropping your back arm onto your leg. Right arm comes up. Relax your left shoulder. Let it just creep down your leg. How active is your front leg? Your knee still, don't look at it. Your knee is still pointing towards your third toe. Don't let that right knee cave in. 1 more breath. Reach the right arm up towards the sky. Find warrior two. Relax the shoulders. Take a moment in your warrior. If you're having trouble with your shoulders, bring your hands to your hips. Otherwise, fold. And just feel the strength in this warrior pose. Feel the openness in the hips. Press into the outer part of your left leg. You're pushing into the front toe mound and your heel. Your inner thighs are really working hard. I know your knee wants to cave in, so open up as much as you can. 1 more breath. Take the back arm. Windmill towards the front. Both palms come to the floor. Back foot will pivot. Okay? Stay with me. You're in a high lunge. Take your leg, left leg, towards the left side of the mat a little bit. So I want your feet to be mat width apart. Okay? You're in a high lunge. If it helps, you can grab your blocks, but we're not here for long. Relax your shoulders. Remember, your right foot's a little more to the right, left foot's a little more to the left. Right now, the back heel is off the floor. Walk both of your hands towards the left. You're coming off the mat this time. Keep your hips where they are. And I want your hands in line with your upper foot, your right foot. So I don't want you to come here into the center. Keep reaching up towards the left corner of your mat and away. Keep pressing into the legs, back foot and front foot. Big opening here. Feel the stretch in your hips, upper body. You're reaching as far away in the left corner of your mat as you can. You're off the mat here. Relax any tension in your neck. Look down. Walk yourself back in towards the center. All 10 toes are facing forward. Drop the back knee onto the floor. Half splits. If you want to take your blocks with you, you can. Sitting all the way back. And you're going to sit to wherever is comfortable for you. Point your right toes in towards you. If you're not sitting on your heel, no big deal. You could be right up here. Just point your toes in towards you. Whichever position you choose, wherever you want to stop, make sure your back is straight. You don't want to round in towards the floor. Length. Breathing. Reconnect to your breath. Soften your shoulders. Remind yourself that whatever you're doing, you made it to the mat. Whatever you're doing is good. You're moving, you're creating space in your body. With that comes space in the mind. With that comes a little more composure, a little more calm, a little more presence. Let's walk ourselves forward. Bring the palms to the floor. Curl the back toes underneath you. Find your downward dog. Right leg goes back. Lift the hips up high. Let's come up onto our tippy toes and then press your heels to the back of the room. Downward dog still. Let the head be heavy. Just 2 more times. Inhaling, come up onto the tippy toes. Pressing the heels back. Use your hands. Press into all 10 fingers here. 1 more time. Inhaling up. And pressing the heels towards the back of the room. It doesn't matter if they touch the floor. There's our downward dog. Lift your hips up high. On your next inhale, we're lifting the left leg up high. And bringing the left foot forward to the front of the mat. So again, I'll demonstrate in this direction. You're going to open the back foot 90 degrees. We're setting up for warrior 2. Your right toes look away from the center of the mat. Engage your core and come all the way up to standing. So just for the setup, since we have some new people, your left heel meets up with your back arch. You're in the same line here. Open the shoulders, open the heart, I should say. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Look past the left fingertips. This is warrior 2. Again, your front knee, your left knee is going to want to cave in. So use your inner thigh muscle to open. Open hip posture here. As we inhale, we lengthen both arms. As we exhale, we reach to the left. Elbow comes onto the knee. Choices, right arm comes up towards the ceiling, or you reach past the head, extend an ankle. Roll the shoulder forward, roll the shoulder back, upper shoulder, right shoulder rolls back. Heart looks towards the ceiling. Your bottom hand, separate your fingers, palm towards the ceiling. Separate the fingers on the right arm, reach. Press into the outer part of your back leg. Feel the spaciousness on the right side of your body as you're reaching. Good. Make your way all the way back. Warrior 2. Take a moment here in your warrior. We're going to dance our warrior now. As you inhale, straighten the left leg. Look towards the center. Breathe in. Both legs are straight. As you exhale, fall into your warrior 2. Attention to your front knee. Let's do that a couple more times. Inhaling, reach. Exhaling, I look past the left fingertips, open your heart. 2 more times, inhaling up. You can follow with your gaze or keep your gaze straight in front of you. Exhale, follow into warrior. And 1 last time, inhaling and exhaling. Good. Now, take your back foot, pivot towards the front. Separate the feet mat width apart. Okay, high lunge. Right now your left foot is more to the left of the mat. And your right foot is a little more to the right of the mat. Good. You're going to walk your hands over towards the left and you're going to reach as far as you can off the mat. You're trying to keep, you're going over to the right, to the right of your mat. You're trying to keep your left foot in line. Your knee is still pointing to the front of the mat and you're just reaching here. Press into that back foot for support. Breathe, let go of any tension in your shoulders and your neck. Not helping in this posture. Take another full breath. Feel the work in the legs. Pushing your back heel to the back of the room. Making your way back, walking your hands back onto the mat, framing your left foot, and dropping the right knee onto the floor. Half split. You're going to sit back here. If you've got your blocks, you can bring your blocks with you right here. Point your left toes in towards you. If you wish to sit all the way back, you can. Wherever you've chosen to sit back here, lengthen your spine. Relax your shoulders. What is the quality of your breath in this moment? Can you soften? Can the inhale lead sweetly and softly into the exhale without retaining the breath? One more breath here. Good. Let's walk ourselves forward again. Plant both hands into the floor and find downward facing dog. Let the head be heavy here. We're not here for long. Let's take another big letting go breath. Let it go through the mouth. Let your head be heavy. Look towards your fingertips and slowly walk your feet towards the front of the mat. Let it all go. Nose towards the knees. You can grab onto opposing elbows if you like. Right hand holds the left hand holds the right elbow. Wherever you are, bend your knees as generously as you need, and then let the head be heavy. Feel like you're almost making your upper back wider, so let your elbows pull down towards the floor so you feel like your shoulder blades are coming away from each other. And yet there's a letting go in the low back. As you release, bring your hands to your heart, sit your hips back, chair pose. Lift your heart to look in front of you. Readjust the back of the neck and sit your hips towards the back of the room. You don't want your knees to be past your toes. You don't want to push those hips back. One more breath. And then push through those strong legs. Bring your arms all the way up. Big breath in as you exhale, mountain pose. Let's take 3 or 4 breaths in mountain pose. Welcome yourself to your standing posture. Balance posture coming up. Take a moment to feel the equal distribution of weight in the right leg, left leg. Are you staying present with the sensations in your body? Are you staying present with each and every breath? These moments of presence knit together is what will bring us more composure, more balance, more peace. Take a moment to feel any energy in the right palm of your hand, left palm. Feel the energy as you breathe in, coming all the way up towards the crown of your head. And as you exhale, send that energy with intention down to the soles of the feet. Just one more full breath like that. As you inhale, feel the full expansion in the diaphragm, sending energy up to the crown of your head. As you exhale, natural contraction, sending the energy down to the soles of the feet. Good. First balance posture coming up. Make sure you're starting in mountain pose. The outsides of your feet are parallel to each other. So perhaps a little bit of a pigeon toed. Big toes curling in towards each other so that the outsides of the feet are parallel. Okay. Bring the hands to the heart and engage the core. We're going to press through that left foot and lift the right foot up and off the floor. Now you can hold on to the knee or not. Wherever you are, you're going to open the right knee towards the right side. So you can hold, you can bring your left hand to your hip. And if you wish, you could even grab onto the big toe if you've done this before and extend. Find your drishti point wherever you are and just open up the right knee towards the right side. Lengthen the left side of your body, get a little bit taller. Flex the foot that's up in the air. And again, you might be doing extended hand to big toe pose or just opening up the hip here, holding onto your knee. And bring it all the way back. We're crossing the right foot over the left knee. Yes, we are. Standing pigeon. Don't hesitate to put your foot down and join us again. As we inhale, we take a big breath in. As we exhale, sit your hips to the back of the room. You're finding your drishti point. You're staring at one point that doesn't move. Not a good idea to be watching me while you're doing balance postures because I move and I lose my balance as well. So find something to stare at that doesn't move. Keep your focus. Stay with your breath. Follow your breath in and out. Sit those hips a little further back to get a nice stretch in that right outer thigh. And then slowly make your way all the way back up. And place your right foot on the floor. Today will be a well-earned Shavasana. Come back to mountain pose. Open the heart. Bring your hands to the heart and press through the right foot as you prepare to take your left foot up and off the floor. A reminder, one side is often more compliant than the other. So be kind to yourself. You have a choice here. You can open your knee to the side. Or if you prefer, you can grab onto the big toe and extend. Stay with your breath wherever you are. Can you soften the muscles in your face, forehead? Are your shoulders creeping up close to your ears? In every situation, we want to ask ourselves, am I holding on to tension that I don't need in this posture? Get just a little bit taller before we come out of the posture. Always place your foot back down on the floor and meet us. Next posture, standing pigeon. Take this left foot, cross it over the right knee. Take a moment here. Again, if you're new, you might be next to a wall and have one finger on the wall here. Sit the hips to the back of the room. Be nice to yourself. Wherever you are is good. Yoga is here to meet you wherever you are. Make this feel good in your body. See if you can sit the hips back, not sit forward so that your right knee bends, but you're pushing your hips towards the back of the room, looking for that stretch in that left hip. Flex the foot that's up in the air. Stay with your drishti point. Breathe. One more breath. We'll slowly come out of it. And back onto all fours. Take a moment, drop your arms. Close your eyes if you can, if you're comfortable, or keep a soft gaze towards the floor. Feel the energy rushing through your body. What does the sensation of space feel like in your body? And what does the sensation of space feel like in the mind? Invite both to soften. If you're not at the front of your mat, make your way to the front of the mat, please. Mountain pose. Soften the knees. On the next inhale, reach the arms up high. As you exhale, fold, nose to the knees, let it go. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale, palms to the floor. Plank pose. Reach the heels towards the back of the room. Come onto the balls of your feet. You don't want to be on your toes. Please make sure your wrists are directly underneath your shoulders. Press into all 10 fingers, engage your core a lot. Push your heels to the back of the room. One more breath as you inhale, lengthen and plank. As you exhale, lift your hips up high. Downward dog. On the next inhale, flying pigeon. Take the right leg up towards the sky. Knee to the chest, plank pose. Hover and navel to spine. Core. 2 more times. Inhale, lift the right leg up high. Bring yourself to plank pose, knee to chest. Last time, press your heel up towards the sky, hips up high. Hovering here, exhaling fully and completely, and we can drop the knee onto the floor, lower leg. Everyone bring a block or a rolled up towel to the floor. I just want this to be really restorative. If you're completely comfortable bringing your forehead to the floor, that's fine. I want you to just send that left leg, top of the foot is flat, send it as far back as is comfortable for you. Let the right hip soften towards the floor, pigeon pose. And you really want your upper neck, head to be comfortable. If you're comfortable, letting your forehead come down to the ground, that works as well. Just want to make sure it's accessible for everyone. So bring your block, make it a little higher here. I'm demonstrating. Bring your hands a little closer to your forehead so there's no tension in your shoulders. And just do a little mental body scan in this posture. Is there anywhere where you can soften, where you're holding on to tension? Check in with your fingertips, the space around your eyes, your jaw. Where can we soften? What a beautiful question to ask ourselves when we're off the mat as well. Where can we soften? Take another big breath here. Plant your palms into the earth. Curl your back foot into the mat, toes into the mat. Lift your heart off the floor and find a downward facing dog. Let your head be heavy above all. Press all 10 fingers into the mat. When we're ready, that left leg is coming up towards the sky. Flex your foot, knee to chest, hover, full exhale, smile. 2 more times, press your heel up towards the sky. As you come forward, flow. 1 more time. Inhaling up. Make this feel good, like a wave in the ocean, coming forward, and slowly dropping your lower leg onto the floor. Take any posture you need with the upper back. So for some of you, if reaching down to the floor is not comfortable at all, just stay up here. I wanted to make this a little bit more restorative, so that's why I offered the idea of bringing a block, and that way you're not reaching too far forward. If this doesn't work for you, keep your whole upper body right here. Let your hips soften. If you are not coming down towards the floor and you're in a more active pigeon where your heart and your shoulders are facing forward, engage your core so you don't get any crunching in your lower back. Otherwise, see if you can find a more restored posture. Again, soften your shoulders. Stay with the sensation in your body. In this moment, left hip, right leg, top of the right leg. Inner hip flexor on the left side. What's the quality of your breath in this moment? So if you're not breathing smoothly, there's something that's not right in the posture, you've gone a little too far, make yourself more comfortable. Can you soften your shoulders? 1 more breath. Let's slowly bring the hands underneath our shoulders. Curl the back toes underneath you. Find your downward dog. 1 last time, I promise. 3 breaths in downward dog. As you're breathing, see if you can find length in your spine. So I am pressing the tailbone up towards the sky, letting the crown of the head be heavy. I'm widening my back by pressing into the outer parts of my hands. So push a little more right now into your pinky and your 4th finger. See if you can make the back wider. And now push into the thumb and the index finger, even out the weight distribution. And when you're ready, make your way back down onto all 4s. Sit back for a moment, child's pose. If you'd like to take the tension out of the shoulders, you can bring your hands close to your ears or your forehead here. Or you can also reach the hands towards the back of the mat so that your fingers are reaching towards your heels, your toes, the back of the mat. As always, if your head doesn't reach the floor, bring a block, a rolled up towel, so that this is a comfortable posture for you. Take one more breath or two. See if you can soften your body, just letting go into the mat. Release any more tension, upper back, shoulders. And slowly, in your own way, make your way onto your back, please. I'm going to ask you to actually take 2 pillows or 2 blocks with you before you lie all the way back. In a moment, when we come to Shavasana, I'm going to invite you to use 2 blocks, 2 pillows, 2 rolled up towels, anything you have access to, and then make your way onto your back. Hug your knees and twist your chest. Rock side to side if it feels good. Separate the knees and grab onto your shins or your ankles and bring the soles of the feet together one more time. Butterfly pose, supine. See if you can feel yourself evenly distributing the weight on the right and the left side of your body so that you're just aligned, resting along the spine. If you need to make any adjustments because you're not comfortable, always make sure that your body is at ease. Bring the legs back into center, bring them onto the floor, feet down, knees are still bent. Please cross the right leg over the left knee so that the knees are stacked upon one another. Your hands come next to your hips, a little bit away from you, about 30, 40 degrees away from the mat. Bring your left foot in a little bit, close to your glutes. Now press into the left foot and raise your hips off the floor and move your hips to the right side of your mat a little bit and drop the hips down onto the mat and let your knees fall towards the left. Both knees fall towards the left. If you're not comfortable with the setup of the legs the way I just offered, you can uncross the legs and just have the knees, the legs one on top of the other. I'm just demonstrating that option now. So the legs can just be one on top of the other with the knees stacked, or the legs are crossed one over the other. If you'd like to, bring your gaze towards the right. The only thing we ask when we're doing a supine twist is that the upper back is flat on the floor, so check in with your right shoulder blade. If you need to, bring yourself back so that the upper back is flat, even at the expense of your knees not going down so far. Relax the shoulders and just sense into that right hip. Notice if you're holding on to tension in the left side of your body, your arms. Just gaze softly towards the right shoulder, past the right shoulder. Take another breath and just let your body settle into this twist. And then slowly bring both legs, knees back in towards the center. Uncross the legs if they were crossed. And then bring your hips back into the center. Remember, we lifted them and brought them over to the right. Make any adjustments with your shoulders so that you feel nice and comfortable. When you're ready, the left knee crosses over the right knee. Bring your right foot close to you so you can get a nice lift. Lift your hips off the mat, like you're just coming up towards the sky. Move them over to the left and drop them over onto the left side of the mat. You just moved over an inch or two. Slowly allow your knees to fall towards the right. By no means do they have to touch the floor. You can look towards your left, check in with your left shoulder blade. Upper body is flat. Gaze is looking towards the left or up towards the ceiling, wherever is better for you. Check in with the sensation in that left hip. Feel the next inhale and exhale. And feel the next breath in and out. Keeping ourselves present, just one breath at a time. And after the full breath out to your next full exhale, bring yourself back into the center. Uncross the legs, realign the spine. We're going to end with one happy baby. So we're going to bring the knees into the chest, reach between the knees and grab onto the big toe. For those of you that are newer, you can grab onto the ankle or the shin. Hello, Barney. And you want to bend your knees so that they come in towards your armpits, just like that. Your feet pointed towards the ceiling, like a baby in a crib. Hello, we're not finished yet. If you're holding onto your knees or your calves anywhere, just see that you feel a nice support along your back. Take another breath here, nice hip opener. And as you come out of happy baby, do any other posture that you need. So you might need to windshield wiper the legs a little bit. You might want to just get an extra little core posture in by bringing your knees in towards your knees. Sorry, nose towards the knees, reaching up. Anything that you need. And before we set up for our Shavasana, I just wanted to offer, if you'd like a nice relaxing restorative posture that's nice on the hips, you can take your blocks or your pillows and just do your Shavasana in a butterfly pose. So the soles of the feet are in towards each other. Feet don't have to be next to your groin. They can be far away from you, and support your upper thighs so that they're not pulling in midair, but you feel a support there. So you bring the pillow or the blocks anywhere that's comfortable so that the legs, the knees open up each to their own side, and yet you're supported. And if this doesn't feel good, give it a try. And if it doesn't feel good, just extend your legs, find the best and most comfortable, relaxing posture for you. We'll go through Shavasana together. We have one or two new people today, so don't worry about when it's over. You'll hear the chimes in a few minutes. We're going to enjoy these last few minutes of stillness together. Setting up for this relaxation is just as important. If you're cold, grab a blanket. If you could be a little bit more comfortable, make yourself more comfortable so that you can completely let go of any tension in the body. Take a moment and soften all the muscles around your eyes. If your arms are next to your body on the sides, let your palms face up. See how that feels. Let the back of your head be heavy, back of the neck is long, comfortable. Adjust any position of your chin. Just play with it so that the back of the neck feels long. See if you can move your shoulders a little more away from your ears. And then let the shoulders melt in towards the floor. Let your body and your breath just breathe you for the next few moments. Relax your arms and your legs all the way down to the toes. And see what it feels like to be in your body and not do anything for anyone. Just be breathing in your body. No reason to move or go anywhere. Just reawaken your body with your intentional breathing. So bring the attention back to every inhale and exhale. As every inhale can serve to nourish every cell in your body, breathing in intentionally, sending energy to the crown of the head, to the soles of the feet, and then using your exhale as an opportunity to let go just a little bit more, noticing where the tensions are hiding, just letting go into the mat. Once again, intentionally bringing energy into the body and using that exhale as an opportunity to let go. You can exhale through your mouth or through the nose, whatever feels like more of a release for you. Take another big intentional breath in. Again, noticing you're breathing in and then noticing you're breathing out. Bring attention to the front of your body and just notice the natural expansion with every breath in. Feel your whole body settle as you exhale. Feel the weight of your back body on the mat. Take another big breath in. Notice a sense of perhaps buoyancy or lightness as you breathe in the front body. And then a sense of groundedness, solidity, the earth beneath you, supporting you as you exhale. Bringing very slow and gentle movements to your fingers and your toes. Make little circles with your ankles and your wrists. If it feels good, you can bring your knees in towards your chest. Wherever you are, just make your way onto your right side and stop in a fetal pose. So use your right arm as a pillow. Bring your knees in close to your chest. And just spend a few breaths here. Again, just using this opportunity to follow your breath, to be with the sensation in your body, to notice the quality of your mind right now in this moment. As you give yourself permission to soften, to slow down, to just be, what happens to the quality of the mind and the thoughts of the mind? What happens to that conversation that is always in the background? When you're ready, use your left hand to help press you up to seated and move very slowly to come back to seated and join me in a comfortable seated position. Again, if you need support, this is a nice time to grab those pillows or the blocks and place them underneath at the thighs to support you. Once again, just making sure this is a comfortable posture for you. Let's take a moment together and just let the palms face the ceiling. And just take a moment to notice the energy that is flowing through you. The energy that we are bringing in and sending back out into the universe with every inhale and exhale. The energy that is all around us. This common thread that holds all of us together. If you'd like to take a moment of gratitude in this very moment and think of something that you are grateful for. It could be a long list, it could be one thing, it could be just the ability to be on the mat and moving. And as always, deep gratitude to each and every one of you for joining me today. Till we meet again, I wish you and all those you love peace in your hearts, peace in your minds, above all, good health and peace in the world. Namaste. I wish each and every one of you a wonderful week. Look forward to seeing you again soon.